Hello, Mrs. Moore. I'm doing Video Journal 4, so I'm just going to jump right in. I talked to Tabitha Stone at Intercom, and so for the first aspect of the A. Scott method, attitude, that was one of the biggest things she talked about. And some of the things that she mentioned, you've also mentioned in class, like for instance, when a client says no, that doesn't necessarily mean no forever. You could go back later with a different kind of approach or something different, and then that might win them over, and then they might say yes. So she kind of talked about that as well, and she said, if you get a no, the important thing is to stay positive and keep going forward. You have other clients that you can work with, and like I said, you can win that client over later. So she definitely talked about staying positive and how you have to stay motivated, and she also talked about how you have to be willing to build rapport with others, which that goes along with the emotional intelligence aspect. She didn't explicitly mention emotional intelligence, but she did talk about it. Whether she knew she was talking about things that pertain to emotional intelligence or not, I don't know. Like I said, she didn't mention it explicitly, but like I said, she definitely mentioned things that fall into the emotional intelligence sort of realm. She said you have to be willing to relate to people and build bridges with them and really get to know them. And, obviously you have to have really good emotional intelligence to do that. You have to be, in touch with yourself and also with them. And so she definitely mentioned that sort of aspect. As for skills, she talked about some of the skills and methods that she and others use when, talking to clients and making a sale and stuff. She didn't really go into too much detail, but she kind of mentioned some kind of characteristics of a good salesperson. One of the things that she mentioned was research, and I think that is a skill, properly researching something, because you got to know what to research and how exactly to utilize the data that you gather. So I definitely think that is a skill, and that was one of the biggest things that she talked about. And that also kind of plays into to knowledge as well. Like I said, one of the biggest things she talked about was researching clients, researching what the competition is doing so you can stay one step ahead of them. Obviously, the more research you gather, the more knowledge it provides and the more information you get, which helps you and makes your job easier. As for opportunities, she talked about, building bridges with people, as I've mentioned earlier, building that rapport. That leads to a lot of great opportunities. And also even the research aspect can lead to a lot of great opportunities, because you might find something out in your research, and then that lets you, that might give you an opportunity either in the short term or in the long run. Who knows? But the building rapport with people, getting to know them, can really help with the whole opportunities thing, as will research. Another thing she talked about was preparation. I know I've mentioned this a few times already, but the research thing really goes into preparation as well. The more thoroughly you research your client and your competition and everything like that, the more information you gather, the more you study it, the more you'll be prepared. Obviously, if you don't really have any information to go off of, then you can't really prepare anything, because you don't really have anything to prepare. So the more, the more research you gather, the more information you take in, the better your preparation will be, and the more professional you'll seem to your client, and probably you'll be able to win over your client more, because you'll know so many different aspects of their business and of the industry and things like that. So preparation is definitely a really huge part of what Miss Stone does. And then the last thing, perseverance. Like I said earlier, she said one of the biggest characteristics that she has is self-motivation. Like I said, a no doesn't necessarily mean a no forever, and she knows that as well. She knew that you have to stay persistent, you have to persevere even in the face of a no, and really have to just keep working to get what you are looking to get. So, yeah, thank you.